Welcome back to the deep dive, where our mission is to cut through all the noise and make complex subjects crystal clear for you.
And today, we're getting into language.
We are. Specifically, we're talking about those tricky, kind of fascinating phrases that the sources call the software code of culture. We're talking about idioms.
That's a great way to put it. Idioms are, they're the linguistic roadblocks for just about anyone learning a new language.
Right.
They're phrases where the meaning is completely non-literal. I mean, if you just look at the individual words, you have absolutely no chance of guessing what a native speaker is actually trying to say.
So our task today is to unlock 8 of these essential English idioms by really decoding their DNA.
Exactly. And the big insight from the sources is that you shouldn't just try to memorize these.
No, not like flashcards. That's just exhausting and it doesn't really work.
It doesn't. Instead, you have to understand the original picture they were painting, the imagery that made perfect sense, hundreds of years ago sometimes.
And when you get that original picture, the figurative meaning now just clicks into place.
Precisely. We're not just reciting definitions. We're looking at, say, component word A and component word B. We're seeing how they collide to create this single, memorable idea.
When you can visualize the parts, the meaning just becomes intuitive.
It does.
And we've structured this deep dive to follow the source's 3 main themes. So first we'll start with part 1, success and momentum.
Phrases for rapid progress, winning big.
Then we'll move into part 2, connection and trust, which covers relationships and more formal dealings.
And finally,
Finally, we'll finish with part 3, the human condition. So exploring how we define our place in the world and, react emotionally to it.
sounds great. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
Let's jump right into the competitive world of part 1. Success and momentum. These are the phrases you pull out when everything is just going perfectly and fast.
And nothing expresses that massive immediate success better than our first one, sell like hotcakes.
Classic.
It is, and the components are so simple. Sell, hot, and cake. But my first thought is, why cakes? Why not sell like hot bread or sell like hot pies?
That specificity is actually the key. The image is of something so freshly baked.
So it's about the newness, the freshness.
Exactly. So desirable, so perfect, that people don't even wait for it to cool down. They just snap it up instantly. So it captures that immediate, overwhelming demand. It's not just selling a lot, it's selling fast because it's so irresistibly fresh.
That distinction is so important. So you can apply this to any situation where speed is a factor. If you're talking about concert tickets, you don't just say they're selling quickly.
No, it's not strong enough.
Right. You say they're selling like hotcakes. You have to buy one now. The phrase has both the success and the urgency baked right in.
Moving from that kind of commercial success to total competitive domination, we have our next idiom, sweep the board.
This one gives me such a clear visual. You have sweep, like with a broom, and then board, which makes me think of a game board.
A chessboard, or maybe a domino table.
Yeah, exactly. It's this literal image of just clearing everything off the table.
And that visual tells you everything. The meaning is complete, total success to win all the available prizes, all the contests, every single category.
The winner has literally swept away every piece the other side had.
Right. But why that specific imagery? I mean, why not say win the whole field or clear the table? Does the game board part of it really matter?
It absolutely matters because it implies a contained, specific competition where all the possible prizes are right there on that one surface.
I see.
We see this a lot in sports, at award ceremonies, or even in business bids. If a company wins all 3 parts of a government contract, you'd say they swept the board.
It implies that total comprehensive domination within a set of rules.
Utter domination. I love that. Okay, our final phrase in this section is a bit more personal, more transformative. New lease on life.
Ah, this is a great one.
And this is where it gets really interesting because the parts feel legal, almost contractual. You have new lease like a rental contract and life.
And this is a perfect example of how the original image just unlocks the modern meaning. A lease is a contract for a specific amount of time and space.
Right. It's finite.
So when you get a new lease, you're being given a renewal of that contract. It means a fresh start, another chance to continue living, but with, better health or more enjoyment.
So the word lease works so well because it's like you're formally extending your time on Earth.
Or extending the usefulness of an object.
Right. The sources mentioned medical recovery. A successful heart surgery gives someone a new lease on life, but you could also use it for fixing up an old car.
Yes, you're not just fixing it. You are formally renewing its purpose, its time. You're restoring its vitality.
That's the feeling it captures, a sort of legal, binding renewal of potential.
Exactly.
Okay, that wraps up our section on success. So now let's pivot and look at how we navigate the trickier world of connection and trust.
Which brings us to part 2. This is all about the conditions we put on our relationships and our deals.
And we'll start with a phrase that is critical for any kind of negotiation or offer: no strings attached.
You hear this one all the time.
All the time. And if you break down the components, string being a tie and attached meaning connected, I immediately see a puppet.
Right, and someone pulling the strings. The sources use that exact imagery, showing the strings being cut.
So the strings represent control or hidden rule.
Hidden obligations, yeah.
Ah.
So the figurative meaning is really powerful. It's something given or done without any special conditions, without restrictions, no hidden catches.
It implies total transparency.
It does. And for you, as the listener, this is so essential. You hear it in sales pitches constantly. A free trial with no strings attached.
Meaning there's no puppet master who's going to pull you into a contract later on.
It's the ultimate promise against, hidden fees or sneaky fine print.
Okay, next up we have how we show belief in other people. Vote of confidence.
This one feels a bit more straightforward, almost legislative.
It does. Vote is a formal choice, and confidence is just trust or belief. Simple.
But the beauty of it is that while it started in politics to show support for a leader, the meaning has grown.
How so?
Now it defines any action or statement that shows public support or belief in someone's skills. It's an explicit stamp of approval.
We see this all the time in the workplace. A manager gives a team a vote of confidence by letting them run a huge project on their own.
Right. They're not just delegating.
No, they're publicly declaring their absolute trust in that team. It says so much more than just an encouraging email.
Absolutely. And finally, in this relationship section, we have a phrase that sounds so beautifully old world.
Kith and kin.
Kith and kin.
The components here tell such a cool historical story. So kin is easy. We still use that for family or relatives.
Sure.
But kith, I honestly always thought it was just, poetic filler, something that just sounded good next to kin.
And that's where the decoding really pays off. Kith is actually an Old English word. It means friends or acquaintances.
No way.
Really? Yeah. So the actual literal meaning is the complete set of your social circle. Everyone you know and are related to. Friends and family.
Wow. That completely changes the scope of the phrase for me. It's so much bigger than just family.
Precisely. It's an umbrella term for your entire social network. Now, you probably won't use it asking a friend out for coffee.
Right. A bit formal for that.
A little, but it's still used for big formal gatherings. If you invite all her kith and kin to a wedding, you're specifically including both blood relatives and the chosen family, the closest friends.
It covers the whole social spectrum. That's fantastic.
And that moves us nicely into our final section, part 3. The human condition.
We're moving away from external deals now and focusing more on our place in society and our more visceral internal reactions.
And we start by defining those social roles with the phrase walk of life.
Breaking this down, you've got the physical act of a walk, and then you have life, as in, existing in society.
And the source material had this great illustration of different kinds of shoes.
I loved that. Work boots, high heels, sneakers, all on the same path.
That image makes the meaning so clear.
Mm-hmm.
The walk is the figurative path a person has taken: their job, their social class, their background.
The path they walk defines their place.
Exactly. And it's such a crucial term for emphasizing diversity and inclusion. If a community event is a success, you use this phrase to show how broad its appeal was.
For example, describing a conference as attracting people from every walk of life, from CEOs to students, farmers to physicists.
It means their backgrounds couldn't be more different, but they're all there together in that moment.
Okay, and now for our final idiom. It describes one of the most immediate, involuntary physical reactions we have to strong emotion: weak at the knees.
A very vivid one.
The components are pretty straightforward. Weak, meaning lacking strength, and knee, the leg joint. But my question is, why the knees? Why not weaken the arms or the chest?
Well, the knees are what holds you up, right? They're your structural support.
Firm foundation.
Exactly. So when you experience a sudden, intense flood of emotion, whether it's fear or shock or overwhelming love, your body can, react in a way that makes your foundation feel unreliable.
So the physical weakness translates into that emotional state of being completely overcome.
That's why it's such a powerful expression. You see it in romantic stories all the time. Meeting a celebrity can be so shocking that your awe literally destabilizes you.
I went weak at the knees when I realized who I was talking to. The unsteadiness is real.
It is.
So we've done it. We've decoded all 8 idioms from success to society. We've covered success and momentum, connection and trust, and the human condition.
So what does this all mean for you now?
That's the question.
It means we can go from defining to actually applying. The decoding should be intuitive now, so you can pick the right idiom for the right situation.
All right, let's try a quick application exercise.
I'll give you a situation, and you tell us which idiom best sums it up.
Let's do it. Bring it on.
Okay, situation 1. A new product launches. The company sells its entire 3-month inventory in just 3 hours. Which idiom captures that?
Oh, that is the perfect picture of immediate high-demand success. That product is absolutely selling like hotcakes.
Perfect. Okay, situation 2. A longtime employee who just recovered from a serious illness comes back to the office with incredible energy, looking healthier than ever.
That sounds like a dramatic renewal of their contract with existence itself. They've been given a new lease on life. It just perfectly captures that revitalized feeling.
Absolutely. And final scenario. You get an invitation to a party that promises free stuff and says there is zero obligation to buy anything or sign up for anything, ever.
That is a completely transparent offer. There are no hidden conditions, no puppet strings. That is the ideal situation with no strings attached.
And that's the whole point of this deep dive. Once you can decode the imagery, using them becomes second nature.
The sources put it so well. Mastering idioms is the bridge between knowing English and feeling English.
You move past the confusion and you start expressing yourself with real cultural fluency.
They stop being confusing obstacles and start being these incredibly effective tools.
And that leads us to a final provocative thought for you to take away from all this.
Okay.
Thinking about this decoding process we used today, looking at how literal parts combine to create a figurative meaning, how many of the other everyday phrases you use could be broken down in the same way. Does understanding that original literal picture change how you might use those phrases in a conversation?
That is a wonderful challenge. Start looking for the hidden history in your daily language. That's all the time we have for this deep dive. We hope your understanding of English just got a little richer.
And a little clearer. Until next time, keep exploring.